Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny Athanas, registered nurse and holistic health coach. Welcome back to my channel, Abundant Health for Her. Today, we're talking about one of the most eye-opening concepts in personal growth. It's something called the upper limit problem from Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap, and how it secretly sabotages our health habits. So let me ask, have you ever been on a roll with eating well, moving your body, you're sleeping better, and then suddenly you fell off for no reason? If so, this video is for you. The upper limit problem basically says that each of us has an internal thermostat for how good we're allowed to feel. And when we rise above that level, we unconsciously pull ourselves back down. It shows up in success, relationships, happiness. But today I'd like to talk to you about how it shows up in women's health and with the clients that I've worked with. So, right when you start to feel good, you basically self sabotage. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, not because you don't know what to do, but because your nervous system thinks feeling this good is unsafe or it's unfamiliar. So, let me give you a few real life examples and see if any of this sounds familiar. So, example, you're on a good streak. You're eating clean all week, you're walking every morning, you're sleeping better, and then bam, you have a weekend blow up. Maybe you drink lots of wine with the girlfriends, or you skip days of getting up and working out, or you watch your favorite show well into the midnight hours while also maybe drinking more of that wine. That's your thermostat saying, whoa, we don't live at this level of wellness. And you start to experience overwhelm or drama out of nowhere. Things are going smoothly, so you suddenly get irritable. Or maybe you pick a fight with a friend or a spouse. You start creating stress, or you're overthinking things, or you just shut down. So your system is trying to restore that familiar level of struggle because it feels familiar. And this is a big one. I see it all the time. Right when someone starts making progress, they start getting too busy, or they catch a cold, or they get aches and pains that derail their progress. And this is the body just simply saying, too much good, let's slow down. So why do we have this upper limit problem with our health? Gay Hendricks, he says in his book that there are four unconscious fears that we use and that are behind our self sabotage. In health, they sound like this: maybe something is wrong with me, or I never stick with things, or I'm just not a healthy person, or I always fall off the wagon, whatever that wagon is. This belief makes progress feel unsafe. We might also fear outshining others. So, for example, if I get healthy, what will my partner think? Will it change our relationship dynamic? We love to try new restaurants, go to breweries. Every Friday night's movie night, we make a big tub of popcorn. What about my friends? Will this make them feel insecure? What if I start looking or feeling or have more energy than they do? So we dim our own wellness so that we don't outshine others. Another one of our fears might be being a burden. So if I take time to work out, I'm taking time away from my kids or my spouse. Or if I'm cooking healthy meals, I'm taking extra time in the kitchen or extra time to prepare. And my kids aren't going to want to eat what I'm making anyway. So self care feels selfish. Finally, there's the fear of abandonment. If I change, my relationships will change. If I get confident, people might pull away. So your system keeps you in this version of your old self, the self that everyone expects. But here's the good news: you can raise your thermostat and make feeling good your new normal. So, step one really is to notice that sabotage in real time. So, catch the thoughts or behaviors when they're starting to show up. Keep asking yourself, is this an upper limit problem kicking in? And sometimes that awareness breaks about 50% of the pattern. The next thing you do is normalize feeling good. So say this to yourself out loud if you can. It's safe for me to feel this good, or my new baseline is well being. You're teaching your nervous system a new setting. The third step is choosing the smallest possible healthy action. So, not a workout, not a meal prep marathon, just a tiny action such as a 5-minute walk or one glass of water. Or maybe it's breathing for 30 seconds or going to bed 10 minutes earlier. And then I want you to celebrate those tiny wins. I know it sounds so simple, but celebrating expands your capacity for good. So say to yourself, nice job. That was a healthy choice. Look at me taking good care of myself. And this is how you beat the thermostat. Here's the twist though. You will feel the most resistance right before you break your old pattern. So if you're suddenly feeling tired or irritable or very unmotivated or overwhelmed, it doesn't mean you need to stop. It means you're close, closer than you even thought. And if this hits home for you, I would love for you to tell me in the comments, where does your upper limit show up in your life? And specifically, how does it show up in your health habits? And if this kind of mindset and wellness content supports you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and I've got more coming your way. See you next time.